Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. This is Katie. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm really glad that you're here. And if you're back, hi again. I'm very happy that you're here. So tonight I am hopping on to do a little WIP and Chat with you guys. And if you are not familiar with what that is, WIP stands for work in progress. So any project that you might be working on, and chat, which self-explanatory. We chat. So feel free to grab whatever project you have going, whether it's something crafty or if you just want to have me on in the background where you're doing some house cleaning or in the car. I'm just happy to hang out with you guys. So before we get started, what I'm working on tonight is my kit, my first kit from Treasure Studios Art. The name of it is Diana, and I am closing in on the end. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it before I have to start my other Christmassy kit, but we'll see. We'll just see. I need to do some mental math and see how long it's going to take me. So I'm working on it upside down. This is the unicorn's horn, and this is the moon on Diana's brow. This is the top of the painting where I'm pointing. So I do have my trash tray handy because this kit has quite a lot of trash in the drills, which I'll get into a little bit more later. My pen is from Jim's Handmade Pen Shop over on Etsy. I don't think he has any more of this kind of hybrid in stock, but he's always sharing, adding new blanks and new kinds of blanks. So feel free to go check him out. I'll link him down in the description below. And the tray is from Painting with Diamonds UK. Stopper is as well. And I'm using tonight Not Your Mama's Mud, which has been a favorite of mine for a little while. This one is Amber Strawberry Lemon Drops, and I'm pretty sure this is my very first one and was a gift from my friend Jacqueline. So, how are you guys doing tonight? I am, as I'm recording, it's Monday, and it was a Monday. Oh my gosh. My kids, they get the Mondays too. I think because their dad goes back to work, and my oldest has remote learning, and so it's back to school for him. So it felt like a Monday. So I am just I'm tired, but I am also I'm just so glad my kids are in bed so that I can hang out with you guys. And actually this is my third video that I'm recording tonight because my husband was like, oh, I'm gonna watch my weekly Bond movie, so random context for this. He is a huge James Bond fan. He's a movie buff in general, which is really fun, but he is watching one James Bond movie a week leading up to the release of the next James Bond movie. At least the release date that it currently has. They keep bumping it because pandemic. But anyway, so when he mentioned, he's like, I was going to watch my weekly Bond movie tonight. And he has like a Instagram account for it and everything where he sort of like not live tweets because it's Instagram, but like live stories along with it. So it's like, perfect. Can you tell that I enjoy making videos for YouTube? That literally my first thought was, great, I can just knock out a whole bunch of recording in one evening then. So, man, I'm telling you what. Okay, let me just use this. So, let me start talking to you guys about this kit. So, I don't think I actually have done a WIP and Chat while I've been working on this kit, even though I've been working on it on and off for several weeks. I took a week and a half off there to work on Hope Runs Deep, which was so fun to finish with you guys last time. That was fun. But since I finished Hope Runs Deep so quickly, I thought, let me go back to Diana for a bit before I do another Christmas kit. Because I should have time. Right now it's December 13th? I don't even know. 14th? I don't even know. What day is it? Where am I? Anyway, I had enough time that I was like, I bet I can get another dent put in Diana, if not finished, before I do the other one. So But this kit has been an experience, and not in a bad way. It's just taken some getting used to. So Treasure Studios Art, it's a company that legally licenses their artwork. They have a really fantastic variety of artists that they work with, which I love. They offer their kits, their canvases in multiple sizes, so you can choose the size that you want. And for most, if not all, of their paintings, you can choose if you want them in round or square drills. Might be mixing them up with Craftibly, though, in that sense. So I will double check and correct myself if they only offer in one drill shape. I want to say that this was one of the kits I could have picked square or round. Anyway, I decided to do this kit in rounds because that is my go-to whenever I am trying out a company that I haven't done a kit from before. Since round drills tend to have fewer issues than square drills, and they move more quickly, for me at least, I usually will start with a round drill kit because then I can focus on evaluating the other aspects of the kit without having to worry about square drill quality and it taking me longer. And if I like the company, then I'll go back and try their square drills next time. So, but what's unique about Treasure Studios Art, sorry about that. One of the things that's unique about Treasure Studios Art is that their round drills are actually smaller than your standard size round drills from other companies. So from other companies, for most if not all other companies, round drills are 2.8 millimeters wide and square drills are 2.5. And for Treasure Studios Art, the round drills are the same size as the square drills. They are also 2.5 millimeters wide. Wide in diameter, I'm actually not positive, so don't quote me, please. But anyway, what that means is that there is a little bit of a learning curve with actually placing them, which hasn't been too hard to get used to. And interestingly enough, these drills click the way that squares do when you're filling in gaps. We'll see if I get to a point of that later, but they sit very tight. And I actually was really concerned when I very first started this kit that they were going to pop because they sat so tight. So far though, I haven't had an issue with popping, so I'm very happy about that. And to be fair, a large part of the reason for that might be that the other unique thing about Treasure Studios Art, which is that they use a mounted glue adhesive, which is, again, not something I've seen from any other company. And so this adhesive that's on here, it's not poured glue and it's not double-sided adhesive. It is a mounted glue. It is super strong. I found that if I place a drill and it's not perfectly centered, if I try to wiggle it, it's not as forgiving. It doesn't really want to give. And I've actually managed to tear the adhesive a little bit when I got a little too overeager with trying to move some drills. So if I have a drill that I really need to adjust, then I will pry it off with tweezers and replace it because I don't want to risk damaging the glue. So that does make it a little bit finicky in that sense, and also in the sense that you cannot, well, you're not supposed to roll the canvas with the film side in. You'll notice when it comes to you, it comes rolled with the film side out, like the printed canvas side out. And that's how you have to roll it if you were to roll it again to store it, because otherwise it can damage the adhesive, which now I kind of understand why now that I've seen what it does whenever I try to move drills on it. But the drills themselves have to be totally honest, they've been really poor quality in my opinion. Every single color except for one or two. I'll show you one of the most egregious ones here in a minute. Like fully a fourth to a half of the drills will be stuck together. This isn't one of the worst colors, but like most of these down here, they're drills that are actually stuck together. And I emailed Treasure Studios Art a couple of nights ago. They responded to me. Oh no, it was just, I emailed them yesterday. And they responded to me this afternoon. And I had sent them some pictures and just very politely and gently let them know, you know, it seems like there might be just a quality issue with this set of drills with this kit, and you know, I'm having some trouble even using my drill grinder and the tray trick to get these stuck drills apart. I don't believe it's static because I have a little piece of dryer sheet in almost every single one of these containers because the static was so unreal in them. Which again, I understand that static can often be related to your weather. I don't know if it's humidity or heat or air pressure or whatever it is, but I have never had this level of static ever in any kit from any company. When I was trying to kit this up, I can't remember if I told you guys about this, but when I was trying to kit this up, I literally had to pour the drills. I had to stuff pieces of dryer sheet in the plastic Ziploc baggies they came in first, and try to shake them up. And then I would pour them into the drill tray first, because if I tried to pour that directly from the Ziploc bag into my Elizabeth Ward containers, even with the dryer sheet in the Ziploc bag, they were so staticky that the drills were literally just like flying everywhere. I was just laughing because if I didn't laugh, I was going to cry. But yeah, the static is, see, look, little piece of dryer sheet, everyone. Static has been something. Static I can deal with, stuck drills I can deal with, but I still felt like I should let them know. Like here you can kind of see like so many stuck together drills. So sometimes drills stick together because of static. That cannot, I really don't feel like that can be the case at this point. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh. The case at this point because there's dryer sheets in every one and some colors are worse than others. And then some of the colors just have excessive amounts of trash. And what I'm running into a lot is, look here, you see how that has a hole on the top of it? All of these colors have a number of drills with the holes in the top. So I messaged to let them know. I sent them pictures. They responded very quickly. I was very polite and was very clear. I'm like, I'm not asking for anything. I'm not expecting anything. I just wanted to let you know in case you've been hearing from other people having similar issues. Like if this is not just a fluke, you might just want to check in with whoever's manufacturing your drills. And they responded today, Monday, less than 24 hours later, thanking me for letting them know, and also saying that they were aware of some issues that they had with kits that were ordered the same month that I had ordered mine, which was in August. Sorry, quick drink of water here. So they were aware that this was a problem. They apologized and said, if you don't have enough drills, like after you've sorted through, any trash or whatever, basically any colors that you're short on drills, please just let us know. We will send you replacements or extras. And they said, just FYI, since it's round drills, we ordered those from China. So if you could let us know sort of all in one go, like any drills that you don't have enough of, because we'll have to order it and it'll take just a little bit of time to get to you. So with that in mind, like I'm perfectly content with that response. I appreciate their response, and I am hopeful that I'm not going to run out of drills, but I think I mentioned in one of my WIP and Chats right around the time that I very first started this kit that I was like, I'm going to go on the record and say I'm 2 sections in and I am guessing that I'm going to run out of at least one color in this kit, because it just feels like I'm going through some of these colors so fast relative to what I'm seeing in my containers. So we'll see. I definitely think that at the very least, I'm going to be really close. Really, really close. So we'll see, though. I mean, working with these tiny round drills, it's probably hard to accurately tell. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. Things I like about this kit, though, I'll do a really thorough post review once I actually complete this kit, by the way. I'm just sharing my thoughts as I work. But I'm really, really happy with the colors that they chose. I was nervous when I first got into this and unboxed this kit because the colors on that are printed on the canvas were quite dark. And one of the reasons that I was most drawn to this particular kit was because the artist, Maria Abaniel, her art is so vibrant. That's really the best word I have to describe it. It's just so vibrant that if the colors wouldn't have even come close to matching that vibrancy, which the printed colors on the canvas do not, you can kind of see like some of these dark blues here and stuff. If they wouldn't have matched that vibrancy, I would have just been sad. But I've been so happy with the colors chosen. I'm going to reserve comments and judgment on how I feel about the rendering until this is complete, because I had some initial thoughts at one point and then sort of changed them once I finished more of it. So I'm just gonna bite my tongue and say, we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But yeah, we'll see. I am anxious to complete this and share a post review with you guys. Speaking of videos and sharing with you guys, I mentioned that I recorded 2 other videos tonight. One was an unboxing, and the other was the first video in what I'm hoping will be a new series. And I don't know if this is going to be my, you're fine, sweetie. Husband noises. I don't know if I'm going to, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to share that video first, or when I'm going to upload this WIP and Chat, because I want to like spread out my videos, but I don't know what order to do them in. So you'll either have already seen it or you will be seeing it in like a day. Because it needs, this video, the surprise video, is going up on Wednesday no matter what. This video, on the other hand, I haven't decided yet. So we shall see. But I'm excited about that. It is something that has been asked for, but it's a little bit different take on it than I was originally planning, but I'm much happier with the direction that I am going. So I'm going to be cryptic, sorry. But the unboxing, I'll at least tell you, is from Craftably. It's my Black Friday order, and I got into that, and I'm excited about that as well. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff coming. I also, I don't think that this will come until after the new year. It just depends on when it ships out. But I will be sharing a video with you guys at some point that will give some much needed attention to the other part of my name, well, this channel's name, that I have severely neglected since I started this channel, which is the washi part. So I'll keep you posted on that. Also, my last video and how I was all excited to show you guys my new logo. And I tested out like inserting a picture in picture. So here we go. It's going to work. It's going to be my first one. You guys, technology was my enemy that morning. That 24 hours really. I have no idea what it is. I need to like dig into it like Google and try to find out some more info and see if it's like a common glitch or error, but I don't know what it was. Every single time I inserted that logo and then tried to export that video, something about that picture and inserting a picture in it broke my export. And I honestly, because I felt like that video was just a tiny bit like time sensitive, I just got a little flustered. And so I was like, I'm just going to put the silly video up. It's just not going to have the graphic. I don't have time to troubleshoot this right now. Every time I try to export it, it takes an hour to export. So it's an hour to see if it's going to throw an error, if it's going to work. So I threw in the towel. I was like, I just want to put this video up. Oh, the headache of making YouTube videos. I know, such a first world problem, but all that to say, I know that there was no logo there when I was saying there was going to be a logo there. So we're going to take two, but you guys have a huge caveat here that I'm going to say, look at my logo. And there's a solid chance there's not going to be a logo here. But if I can get technology to cooperate with me, here's my new logo. I hope that worked. We'll find out. Okay, so that's fun. So speaking of, let me get a new color because I just finished this one. So yeah, I got flustered super easily with that over the weekend, and that's kind of consistent with my own just sort of mental state lately, it feels like. And this seems to happen with me pretty cyclically, which is usually around once a month. And yes, it does seem to correspond with the other thing that happens for most women once a month. Is I usually have a couple of days where I just feel like my anxiety just spikes, and that my medication, I just don't feel as level. Like my medication is not as effective, and I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's hormonal or something like that, but at least I just know now. I'm like, there's just going to be a day or two each. Why is there a square drill in here? What is happening? Look at that straggler. That's a square drill in this round tray. Anyway, I usually just have a couple of days where my mind just seems to revert back to like standard anxious Katie and what anxiety brain looked like for me before I got that under control, which I've shared very openly about here before. I am so in favor of ending the stigma against mental illness and mental health struggles, because the statistics are staggering as far as how many people, particularly in America, have struggles with their mental health, especially like with this past 9 months of pandemic. Like, I think most of us are struggling pretty significantly. So it's not something I'm shy about sharing about. But for me, what anxious non-level brain looks like is I just sort of I tend to feel just very scattered. I said to my husband once, it feels like my brain is just like out of my own control. It sort of feels like I'm like, my thoughts are like this. And he was like, funny, that's how your brain feels when you have ADD, which he does. And so it just, I just feel a little bit scattered. I don't feel level. I don't feel totally in control of my emotions. I get more frustrated more easily. I struggle with just communication in general and like having the words. And I realize now, like, oh, that's all part of like anxiety brain for me. It can look very different for different people. But now that I have sort of gotten to a place of being leveled out, I get really grumpy whenever I end up back in that place. And it was funny. I had just a quick check-in with my, like a telehealth, like visit with my primary care physician because I was due for a refill on my prescription for my anxiety meds. And I adore her. I love my primary care doctor. But she had said, okay, well, you've been on this for about a year now. And this is usually the point when we would bring up, like, do we want to try moving back off of it? Because most people, once they get to the year mark, often medication has sort of broken that cycle. When you're talking about something like, how can I put it without it being like diminishing? Something that's a little bit more typical to treat, like anxiety and depression. Anyway, I guess for some people, once they're on medication for a year, that sort of can help their brain and the chemicals in their body, like the hormones and everything that are the reason that you have anxiety and depression. After a year of medication, sometimes your body has sort of been able to reset that and regulate that more appropriately, and you don't need that medication anymore. That's not always the case, but it is sometimes. And in my case, if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, that's something that maybe we would try. But she said, I didn't even have to say anything. She's like, normally, since, you've been on it for a year, this is when we talk about, do you want to try bringing the dose down or weaning off of it entirely? She's like, but given that we're all stuck at home losing our minds a little bit, she's like, I'm guessing you don't want to do that. And I said, no, heck no. Like, I am functional right now. And I no, can we wait until like things have started to go back to normal and we have, vaccines and stuff. So, which, by the way, not making that a debate here, just commenting because that's what I was talking to my doctor about. So, yeah, that was funny that she was like, yeah, no, everyone is struggling super hard right now. Like, this is not the time. She's like, if you wanted to try to wean off, like, we could, but I am certainly not going to push for that. And I said, yeah, no, we're not. That sounds like a terrible idea. But man, I am hearing so many sirens tonight. I hope everything is okay out there. I don't know if you can really hear that on the video, but yeah, so also, like, oh my gosh, my toddler is just really giving me a run for my money. He is so mischievous, you guys. I adore him, but oh my gosh, he is so mischievous. But I feel like part of, like, one source of my anxiety right now is, and this is related, I promise, just one source of my sort of depression and anxiety and like unhealthy like self-talk is that I've gained quite a lot of weight during the pandemic. I know that a lot of, many people joke about it, but no, seriously, I've gained a lot of weight this year, and I don't like that I can't fit into a lot of my clothes. And I am not at all commenting on like anyone's weight or body size. This is honestly just a purely practical thing. I don't like that I don't have a lot of clothes that I can wear because I don't have the money to go out and buy more. I just wish I could fit in more of my clothes. But this is one of the unfortunate side effects of a lot of anti-anxiety and antidepressants is weight gain. And I have found that to be true for me. Combine that with being in the middle of a pandemic and not being able to get like the kind of activity that we're used to, combined with eating more poorly because we're stressed and depressed and anxious, and combine that with I'm going to talk for a minute about breastfeeding, and if for whatever reason, I'm not going to get into like weird details or anything, I'm just going to touch on the subject. If that is something that you just feel uncomfortable about or squicked out about, like, feel free to skip forward. If YouTube will cooperate, timestamp here for when I've switched off of this topic. But I don't know, that seems like the kind of thing that I want to at least mention and not drop that in case someone is like, what? No. Again, not getting like graphic or anything. I just am going to talk about it for a minute. So I am currently still nursing my toddler. It is not something that I am asking for in the nicest way I can say it. I'm not asking for your opinions on whether or not I should be, because it is so much more complicated than that. I understand that I am not, that most people, a lot of women are not able to or simply choose not to breastfeed. I'm not saying anything whatsoever about, not making any commentary on any of them. If you chose to, if you weren't able to, that's all fine. For me, I was fortunate I was able to nurse both my kids. I nursed my first until shortly after his second birthday, and I promptly got pregnant with my second. My plan was to, because neither of my kids wanted to self-wean. Like, neither of them wanted to, and so it was a fight with the first, and it's gonna be a fight with the second. My plan, though, was to kind of, oh my gosh, okay, first though, look at those stuck drills. Good grief. My gosh. I also got my drill grinder for this one. So my plan for my second was like, okay, I'll shoot for the same thing. If everything works out and he's nursing and he's still nursing around his second birthday, I want to call it. So guess when this kid's second birthday was? The end of March. Do you know what happened at the end of March? We were all in full-on lockdown mode. Let me tell you. I'm trying to think of how to say this. It's really, really, really stinking hard to try to wean a stubborn toddler. And when you're stuck at home all the time, because my strategy, sorry, I was checking my symbol. My strategy for my first was like, we're just going to be out and about all the time, because if we're not at home, he doesn't like, for him, that worked well because I didn't have the association. He didn't see me sitting down and be like, oh, hey, it's time to check in. We did not have that option. We're stuck at home all the time. And the reality is the pandemic is affecting kids of every single age. It's affecting my toddler that he's not leaving the house basically at all. Again, not asking for opinions on that. That is our family's personal choice for our safety and to do our part. But, and then combined with his teeth issues that were clearly giving him pain, look, the reality is I was not able to wean him the way that I wanted to and had planned. So now here we are. And you guys, I am so done. Like, I want him to be done so bad, but it is so hard because I can't, like, we can't literally just go drive around for an entire morning for days on end to keep us out of the house. Yes, he's eating plenty of solids. Yes, he's all this, again, I'm not asking for advice. I'm honestly just venting at this point. I am going to talk to the pediatrician to see if she has any suggestions from her perspective, and knowing, because she knows our kids, she knows us, she's someone that I am okay to ask for an opinion from. But all this loops back around to my weight. So this is the part where I'm making a note of the time for people to come back. So how this ties into my struggle with my weight is that I am not one of those people that loses weight while I'm nursing. My body holds on to it. So basically, I am not the happiest camper about that. So I'm hoping that I can make some changes that will let me just get a little bit healthier, and yeah, hopefully just feel a little better all around. So anyway, oh, there was something I was going to mention to you guys too. This is completely unrelated. I'm topic jumping from that. So I noticed tonight, I was taking a look at the Diamond Art Club website and noticed, I mean, I'm always checking my wish list there and checking their site to see if they've restocked anything. I noticed that on a few of their kits, they added, in the title, they added in parentheses, final edition. The same way that they label some of their kits limited edition, they had labeled some of the kits final edition. So I was like, I bet I know what that means, but I'm still going to message them to find out. And so I sent them a Facebook message, heard back from them in like 5 minutes per usual with Diamond Art Club. And they said if something is labeled final edition, that means that it's about to be, like, this is its final run and it's not coming back. So I take that with a big grain of salt because they have brought back kits that have been discontinued in the past. But at the same time, that means that there's no guarantee. That means they're planning to discontinue it, barring an unusual circumstance. That means no matter what, it's going to be harder to get your hands on for a while. So as always, I try to share about that kind of thing when I find it in my stories, just to keep people posted there. And if you do want to follow me over on Instagram, I have my profile linked below in the description, or it's the same, it's really, really close to my same name here. It's diamonds_and_washi. And so now I'm debating if I want to pick up some of these kits. They're mostly Mandy Manzano kits, like the Disney ones. Like Snow White is one of them. The Bayou Lady, which is Tiana from The Princess and the Frog, is one of them. The, I don't remember the name of it, but it's Anna and Kristoff from Frozen, found love in a frozen place, yeah, that one. Those are all included. And as I mentioned before, I'm kind of a Disney nut. I really love the Mandy Manzano Disney pieces, but like, I don't know. They're both, the two kits that I'm most drawn to are the Bayou Lady and Found Love in a Frosty Place, but they're both squares. The Tiana one is like one of the giant banners. So the reality is that both of those would be very, very low on my priority list. And it's like Christmas season and stuff. It's not, like, our budget is so thin. I really don't want to open that can of worms, like, if I don't have to. So I'm torn. But definitely go double check your wish lists just in case there's a kit there that you would be really disappointed to miss out on if it were to never come back. And I wonder if this is how the new way that Diamond Art Club is going to handle this kind of thing. Because like a while back, they used to have a section of their website that was basically for pieces that were about to be discontinued. So I wonder if this is just their new way of showing that. Side note, another thing that I checked with Diamond Art Club on at one point is after I saw some people mention like, oh, you know, it says this kit is coming soon. So that must mean it's being restocked soon. So Diamond Art Club showed up in Mrs. Coffee's Friday Night Live a couple weeks ago, and someone in there asked, so no, I didn't personally check with Diamond Art Club. I misspoke there. Someone asked them, like, what does coming soon mean? Like, does that mean it's, you know, going to be in the next shipment or what? And Diamond Art Club in there said, they were like, oh no, coming soon is just our way of nicely saying it's out of stock. So either a kit is in stock or it's coming soon. So just an FYI, that coming soon could mean it'll be back in stock with our next shipment, or it could mean soon is 2 months away. I don't know. I just thought I would mention that. I'm yawning. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am in a terrible, terrible cycle that I cannot seem to get out of. I've been going to bed later and later, and then that makes it hard to get up in the morning, and then I nap with my toddler in the afternoons, usually for half an hour, because it's the only way I get him to go down for a nap. And then I have a hard time going to sleep earlier, and it's just the worst vicious cycle, and I feel like I'm tired a lot of the day. It's probably also a symptom of some depression, to be fair, but yeah, that's why I'm yawning. And yes, that is another terrible habit that I am in with my toddler right now. But if you have kids, and even if you don't have kids, I'm guessing I'm not the only one that just is kind of in survival mode with the lockdown and the pandemic. Like, I mean, depending on how you're choosing to go about your day, it's either affecting you quite a lot or it's not. I'm not going to get into that. So, you know, I know that there's going to be a lot of habits to fix after things go back to some semblance of normal. So, do you guys want to see like the worst culprit ever for stuck drills? Because this is it. Okay. This color is the worst. Do you see like all those drills that are sitting on top there? Like, my gosh. Where'd it go? There they go. Look, all those stuck drills. And the kicker is when I try to use because I have one of these. Oh dear, everything's fine. Okay, hold please. I gotta go grab a towel. No, yeah, I'll be right back. And we're back. Basically, I'm a klutz. I was reaching for my drill grinder to show you guys, and I knocked over my water onto my trash drill dish and spilled water on my canvas. But that's one of the great things about such a high quality canvas with great glue like this, is it just wiped right off. Everything's fine. So I was starting to talk about how so many of these drills are stuck together. Straggler drills. And the kicker is that because they're the smaller round drills, even my drill grinder has a hard time like grinding them apart. I don't know what it is, because I think just because they're that much smaller. I don't know. I just have a tough time with it. I've tried the like tray trick where you smash them together, but I don't know. There must be some kind of weird user error going on here. My next thing to try, if I am about to run out of these drills and I'm going to need them, is that trick where you like put them in a pill bottle with a penny or whatever and shake it. And apparently that's a really easy and inexpensive way to do that. So, and this is what happens when you have to pause your videos. You totally lose your train of thought. I think I kind of finished up on that topic. So that's kind of the update on life and all things diamond painting. So I thought I would hop back over and just for a little bit here before we finish, do a couple more questions from that diamond painting tag. Which, by the way, I have really, really enjoyed those of you that have hopped in and shared your own answers to the questions in the comments. Genuinely, I'm really enjoying getting to know you guys that way, and it just is so, like, it's just very touching to me that you guys would even want to get to know me that way too, and share yourselves that way in there. So, does that sound weird? Apparently it's late, and this is my third video, and I just am jittery with like the mental health stuff I mentioned earlier, where I'm struggling to find my words. So just, this is the authentic me. So let's see. Okay, so the question we left off on, number 19. The question is, wait. Before I get into that, I wanted to say what I usually do before I get into doing tag questions is if you are new and you don't know what tag questions are, it's just a list of questions that someone has put together. Sometimes it's typically themed around a topic. This particular set of questions is all themed around diamond painting. It's just a way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, and a chance for me to share some questions with you that you can answer so I can get to know you too. So anyway, I've done a couple of my WIP and Chats. I've answered some of these questions. I'm kind of just sticking them on at the end just to mix it up a little bit from my regular WIP and Chats and just share a little bit more about myself as it relates to diamond painting. So anyway, question 19. Do you seal your canvases? And if so, how? I have yet to seal one of my canvases. To be honest, I've only worked on a couple of canvases that were of a, like Amazon quality. And even then, like, they were round drill canvases, and so you don't typically run into a need to seal those. But none of the canvases that I've worked on have seemed to need to be sealed. Like, I haven't had popping drills or that sort of thing. So I was concerned that I might need to seal the DIY Moonshop kit that I worked on, since there were some areas that the adhesive was very not sticky, but ended up not being an issue. If I were to decide to seal them, I've heard such mixed things about what people use to seal their paintings and like what affects the glossiness and what doesn't, and it's just a can of worms I haven't really personally wanted to open with trying to decide what I would use and whatnot, so I haven't. But I'm sure I would go to my usual suspects of, Rachel Ray, Mrs. Crochet and Coffee, other diamond painting YouTubers to try to get a sense for different sealing methods and pros and cons and whatnot. When in doubt, research, which is very typical for an Enneagram 5, such as myself. One of these days I will chat more about the Enneagram because I think it's so fascinating. I love personality tests and stuff like that. Anyway, off topic. So, question 20. Do you prefer round or square? And why? I, by and large, prefer round. And the main reason is because I can get through them more quickly. Not that it's about speed, but it's more relaxing for me to work on rounds, both because I complete them more quickly and because to me they require just a little bit less brain power to place them on the canvas, because with squares, you really have to, one sec. Come on. Okay, so with squares, you have to be really deliberate about like setting them down facing the right direction and having them just lined up perfectly so there's not gapping and that sort of thing. They just tend to be more finicky. And rounds can be a little more mindless for me. However, I feel like squares can give a much more polished, finished look, and they can give more detail. I'm yawning again. Excuse me, you guys. You have to let me know if the yawning effect happened over YouTube, where, you know, if you see someone else or hear someone else yawn, if it makes you yawn. So let me know in the comments. Did you yawn when I yawned? Did I make you yawn? So random. Anyway, so rounds go a little bit more quickly for me. They're a little bit more relaxing to do. And I like the sparkle they give because rounds are a little bit more faceted than squares typically. But you do get such a lovely level of detail with squares. And they definitely have a different sort of vibe when they're finished. So I have both in my stash, but after I've worked on a square kit, I almost always want to work on a round kit next because I need that that change up. That just is a little easier on my brain. So that's a question I'm super curious to hear what your thoughts are on, or your personal preferences are. Are you a round or a square fan? What do you reach for? Or do you like to mix it up all the time, or what? But there have been canvases, like I just mentioned earlier, there have been kits that I have not gotten specifically because they were square. I don't let that deter me from, if I'm in love with the artwork, I'll do it in either shape. But if I'm on the fence about it, like, you know, Diamond Art Club has lots of really pretty new releases, but if it's not like a must-have piece of artwork and it's like, ooh, that would be really pretty to work on. Oh, wait, it's squares? I'll hold off. It's just one of those things that makes it easier to hold off on, you know, and I'd really like to get through more of my stash, and it's, I don't want to add more time-consuming canvases to it. So, oh my gosh, question 21. I feel attacked right now. How many drill pens do you have, and what is your favorite? Another day I will do a drill pen parade. I did one over on my Instagram at one point, and I don't have my little pen case handy, or I'd show you guys, but excuse me for yawning again. I'm gonna wrap this up soon, apparently. First, a color. I have over 30 pens, and I love almost all of them, though there are a couple in there that don't fit my hand well, or that I'm not as big a fan of how the blank turned out, that I think I'll do some giveaways with. But by far my favorite is this pen that was given to me by Matt over at Lazy River Wood Turning, and I'm so beyond touched by the story behind this pen. But this is, and not just because it was given to me, but like, I'm obsessed with this pen. You can see that there are these flashes of lavender and teal and pink, and it just, this opalescent vibe is everything. I'm obsessed with this pen. I used it for a week straight after I got it, and normally I change pens every day. And after a week I was like, okay, I'm gonna give my other pens some attention. So, but it's handy, even though my whole case of pens isn't handy. That pen is. That one's always nearby. So I like to mix it up, though. Often I try to coordinate with the canvas that I'm working on, but I'm also the one that's like, I haven't used that pen in a while. I want to make sure I'm equal opportunity with my pens. I want them all to feel loved. I don't want any of them to feel neglected. Let me know if you are the person that has reached the point of giving your craft accessories feelings and emotions, because that's where I'm at. Yes, I love my pens. I love my tool and accessories collections. I've said it before, I will say it again, but isn't that half the fun of crafting, is that you don't just get to collect the kits, like the diamond painting kits, you get to collect all of the accessories. That's half the fun. Okay, next question. And I think this will be the last one. How do you deal with bubbles and rivers in your canvas? This is not often an issue for me, but I've talked about it before when I've worked on my large Josephine wall canvas from Diamond Painting Deutschland, which is a double-sided adhesive because it is so large in how they produce their canvases. But I had to doctor that canvas a little bit, both because of some issues that some bubbles that it came with, and then some that I caused. And I've showed that in past WIP and Chats how I've dealt with them. I just use an X-Acto knife and run it along the surface of the bubble first, just straight, lightly pressing down across the middle, and then I come back and lightly score it at angles going a variety of directions, and then come back over it and gently rub with the end of a pen to squish all the air out, and it usually lays flat without a problem and the drills sit well. So that's not an issue that you really run into with a poured glue canvas, or it's not really an issue I've run into with this mounted glue canvas from TSA. So but as far as rivers go, I haven't personally had much experience with those, so I can't really speak to it. I think that's the one that I've heard you can use like a warm towel and lay that on the back of your canvas. I think that's the trick I've heard with that, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. So I think I'm going to leave it there, you guys, because I keep yawning, and I think this has gone on for a while. But I was really happy that I got to hop on and chat with you guys tonight. And thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way here to the end of the video, thank you. That really means the world to me. Oh, here's one more of that symbol. But right now I feel like these WIP and Chats are some of my favorite videos to make because I always get to interact with you guys even more in the comments. So, and you guys seem to enjoy them too. So, yeah, like I said, I'll be excited to hear what you guys have to say in the comments as far as your own responses to some of these tag questions or your thoughts on other things that I shared tonight. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was fun. Even with I promise my yawning was not personally directed at you. But I will see when this video goes up along with the other ones I made tonight. I'm excited for you guys to see them, and I cannot wait to hear your feedback. Feel free to leave any feedback, comments, thoughts, questions, whatever, in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, I'd love if you hit the thumbs up before you clicked away from tonight's video. Always is helpful to me to know that you're enjoying what I'm sharing. And if you are not already subscribed and would like to stay up to date with what I'm sharing here on my channel, please hit please hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I share new videos, which is not on a schedule at all right now, but I do try to keep you guys posted regularly. Again, thank you for watching and hanging out with me tonight. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, friends.